There comes a point in life where potential just isn't enough anymore. Being good at something isn't enough. Just wanting it isn't enough. Now, eventually you have to make a choice. You have to decide whether you're willing to give up something you love for something you believe you could become. And that's a scary place to be, because the moment you commit, there's no guarantee it'll work out. No guarantee you'll make the team, earn the scholarship, or even reach your potential. All you really have is the belief that the risk is worth taking. Now, today's guest made that decision at a young age. He walked away from one sport he loved, committed himself completely to another, and discovered that talent might open the door, but commitment is what carries you through it. Cue that intro music.
Who says you need to fly to reach the top? Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy the life.
Welcome back to the Ostrich Running Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Meraz, and today it's just me, no Jarrett the Juice Horton. You guys can go ahead and send him your messages of why are you not here today. You're supposed to be here with every guest, but life happens. We all have things going on. But today's guest is somebody who's already learning lessons that take a lot of us decades, really, to figure out. Peyton Allen is one of the top high school runners in the country, a state champion, regional champion, and someone preparing to take his running career to the collegiate level. But what stood out to me weren't really the accolades. It was the decision he had to make, walking away from baseball, his first love, to fully commit to running. Today, we're going to be talking about that decision, pressure, training, confidence, and what it takes to keep chasing your potential when everybody around you expects big things. Peyton, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
What's up, guys? I'm Peyton Allen, and I'm a distance runner from Virginia, and just going into my senior year here, going into some recruitment and everything else. Excited to have a nice season of cross country, indoor track, and outdoor track.
Man, I love it. I can't wait to get into it, Peyton. There's so many questions that are already rolling through my mind right now, but I'm going to try to do my best to keep this structured, organized, because you are the youngest guest we've had. So round of applause for that. This is going to be awesome because a lot of us, we always think about what could have been, what happened if we started running. And I just want to get your take on everything, especially where you're at in your life. But before we get into the deeper story of everything, I'd like to get to know who you were, like the childhood Peyton. And I say childhood, but that wasn't too far away, so it should be fresh in your mind, right?
100%.
Yeah, man. So before running became your identity, who were you? What were you like as a kid? What was your life like? How were things?
I was always a pretty crazy kid, I would say. I was always outside on the bikes, just hanging out with the neighborhood kids and all that. I really, going into my middle school days, 6th grade, 7th grade, even 8th grade, I went undefeated in 8th grade. And that's really when I was, okay, running's my sport. Because I was always into basketball and into baseball. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll do cross country because this will keep me in shape for basketball and baseball. And going into my freshman year of high school, I was knowing running was my strong suit. And every other sport that I had was just my first love. Baseball and basketball, I liked them a lot. And growing up, it was just, I was super competitive in baseball and basketball, and that just shaped who I am today. I would say I was always trying to be the best guy out there. And then when I would go to running, I wouldn't take it as serious. I just knew I was good at it. And so going into my freshman year of high school and stuff, that's kind of when that mindset shifted. And I was like, okay, let's take running more seriously, and had to make the decision to quit both of those sports and pursue running. But then I carried the mindset over, which was a good idea of mine.
Yeah, I think organized sports are such a good base. And we talk about it. Playing organized sports has taught us things about life, working with the team, a lot about yourself and that competitive nature. I didn't realize and I think you can relate, a lot of us talk about who played organized sports prior to that. Running for us was punishment, right? And I'm sure the same was for you, which is why it was so hard for us to really love it right away, because all we had to do was run to be punished. Run for baseball, run for basketball, run for football, run for soccer. And it was terrible. But I think it teaches us a lot about ourselves to push through hard moments, especially things that you don't want to do. But I didn't realize how competitive running was until like I actually started to try to compete a little bit against myself, but it gets intense, man. Would you compare like the competition of running similar to that of basketball or baseball or any other sport?
Yeah, I definitely would. I would say when I first started getting into running, though, I was kind of, okay, it's for time. I'm going out here to run this time because colleges want to see this time.
Yeah.
But the more that I've kind of matured in the sport going in, I would say my freshman year, that was the mindset. Going into my sophomore year, this is a competitive sport. I want to be the best guy out there. I want to win as many races as I can. And so baseball, you don't want to strike out. You want to beat the guy pitching. You want to hit a home run. You want to get on base. Yeah. So that's kind of the mindset going into the race. Even if I'm ranked 6th or if I'm ranked 1st, I need to beat these guys because I know I'm better than them.
Yeah, especially if you go into a race and you see your ranking and you're like, oh, you really only ranking me this? Okay, watch me come up here and show these other guys up, right?
100%.
That's so awesome. So you realize in 8th grade you're actually pretty good at this. You mentioned. At what age did you start taking it seriously again?
I think it was probably 8th grade. So I was probably 12 or 13 is when I started taking running truly seriously.
What does that look like for a 12 and 13-year-old? I know you have your friends who are probably out there trying to get scholarships for baseball or basketball. What does that look like for you as a runner at that age? When do you realize, or like, what is going through your mind? I think it's so hard because we, as an American culture, as a sports culture, basketball, baseball, football, those are our top 3, right? Not too many people are out there saying, I want to be a professional runner at that age. Was there something that drew you to that sport a little bit more aside from you just being good at it?
Yeah, I would say that because I really just like the baseball hard work and stuff. I would see growth from it and stuff that if I hit 400 baseballs a day, I'm going to get better. But it really just was in running. If I'm going out there, I'm putting in the hard work, I'm going to get better. And the running, it just felt it paid off way more. I have friends now that are trying to get recruited for baseball, trying to get recruited for football. And I see the hard work they're putting in. And it's just, wow, there's a lot that goes into being a college athlete, no matter what the sport is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree 100%. Is there anybody that you looked up to in the running world, in the competitive running world, that really inspired you? Obviously, when we look at baseball, football, other things, we can call on a professional athlete. Is there somebody that you look up to, their style of running, or that inspires you to push harder?
So when I was younger, I definitely didn't look up to any runners. I was, oh, those guys are bums. I want to be this baseball player. I want to be like the American athlete.
Yeah.
Now I would say I look up to a lot of runners. You got Josh Kerr, you got Jakob, a new guy that I like from Marco Langen. I like some of the stuff he says, but sometimes it's a little over the top, I will say. But I think his mindset is good for the sport.
Yeah.
But mostly overall, I would say the person I looked up to the most when I was growing up was, I don't know, Muhammad Ali and just Rocky from the movie. I don't know. I just liked a lot of the boxing stuff.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali is on my wall.
Is our fictional character Rocky. He can always inspire anybody to push through. Yeah, dude. I didn't get into running like till way later in my life, and I looked up to the social media influencers, people that I found like through ultra marathon running, because that was really like what I started to like love the sport, was ultra marathoners. But once I started to look at more like competitive like marathoners and track athletes, what really like changed my entire life of this sport, and I say that like loosely because I was a lot older, but the last Olympics with Cole Hawker on that run that he had, dude, I swear, dude, like it brought tears to my eyes, and I still see like posts of that run, and I like am transported back to that moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, why am I getting emotional? But like some kid who just grinds out, right, and has this like kick that you just underestimate. And I always love that like underestimated underdog story. And for him to come out and just blow everybody away in that race was like something that sits it's at the front of my mind often when I think about competitive running. It was so much so that I went on eBay and I got an autographed photo of him from eBay. I was like, I really want to keep that one because it's just like a cool keepsake. It was just such a moment that really brought competitive running into my life a little bit more. So I think that's super cool. Is there a specific race once you started competing that made you feel like you belonged in the sport?
Yeah, I think I really didn't realize this until probably my freshman year, because I knew I was good at running my 8th grade year, but the moment that kind of flipped the switch in me, that was, okay, I need to compete. I don't need to be running a time. It was probably states my freshman year. Me and my team were underdogs. We were ranked 8th, 9th, something like that. And we came out and we got 5th. And I ran 16:40, which was a 25-second PR. And I was, holy cow, dude, I got a lot ahead of me coming in the years prior. So I was just, we got to lock in.
Yeah. Dude, that's so awesome. I love that. I think a lot of us, no matter what age, we're often met with like heavy decisions. What do I keep going forward? What is my path? I think we're always still, even, I say this even about myself, I am still figuring out my path, right? I don't think it's fair to really like lock somebody in at any age. But you at a young age identified a path. It was baseball, your first love, and then running, your new love. What was that decision like for you? Did you have a moment where you sat within your head and you weighed out your options? What did that decision look like for you to go all in on running?
Yeah, so I really didn't make that decision till this year because all my boys played baseball. I was decent at baseball, better at running. Basketball wasn't that hard of a decision because I could give up basketball. That wasn't that big of a deal for me.
Yeah, we know if we're not like we know from a pretty young age if we're NBA material or not, right?
Yeah, 100%. I knew I wasn't going to college for basketball, but I could go to college for baseball.
Yeah.
And so coming into my outdoor track season, my junior year, I really talked to the baseball coach, a really good coach of mine at the high school, really understandable. And I talked to him in December, I think, and I was, hey, coach, I'm making a decision for in the years coming up. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to go to college for. He was super supportive of it and just
That's cool.
was a super nice guy. And it was just a hard decision for me. Talk to my parents, talk to my friends, all that. But I know I made the right decision now. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, this is fresh for me because my son is in Little League now, and it brings back so many memories of like playing Little League baseball. And you grow up with these people, right? Season after season, off season after off season, and you're there. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to make that decision to step away from people you grew up with, because I'm sure you grew up with a lot of these people, even if you weren't at the same school or people you're used to seeing or competing against. That's a tough decision to make at a young age, really. And I think it speaks a lot to your maturity level. What position did you play in baseball?
I was center field and pitcher. So
nice. Ooh, pitcher. What was your best pitch?
Probably fastball. I could throw around 80. So I was.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh yeah, then never mind. Okay, so see, you even had an option to play NBA. All right. I'm a 5'10" guy, so I knew, and this was never going to happen for me. Anything like that, I would never be Michael Jordan. I grew up Michael Jordan era, so yeah, we just kind of. He made you believe you could do anything, though. That was the crazy thing about athletes around that time. So 80 miles an hour. And how old were you?
I think I was 15 or 16 when I threw that. So 2 years ago.
That's crazy. That's
I was just lifting a lot and just, I don't know, doing push-ups, doing stuff that was not probably optimal for running at the time, but still just going out there in cross-country season. I was working so hard for baseball at one point that I would go and I would have pitching lessons in the morning from 9 to 10. And then I would have a lift session. It was powerlifting. And that was from 11 to 12. And then I'd come home and run some days and it'd just be 3 miles. So I don't know how I ran 1640 freshman year, but I did.
It's funny that you say probably some things that you weren't beneficial to running, right? But I think maybe that kind of helped you out, right? This is something I'm realizing now as I do these longer endurance runs. Strength training is such a big part. And I think it's underrated. I don't know if you guys know it's underrated. There's people out there running cross country and they're just running and stacking miles and miles and miles. But that strength training plays a big role in supporting that whole skeletal system. The muscular system just is really good. So you might have just like unlocked a little superpower. So, what are your thoughts on strength training and running?
Yeah, I really like strength training. The way I was doing it back then, 6 days a week, probably wouldn't do that now.
Yeah. Well, you were young and you can handle that. Yeah.
So now I'm doing it 2 days a week, strength training with core 3 days a week. And I really like strength training a lot. Just getting in there, it's just doing the extra stuff for me. Core, sleeping well. It just makes me mentally ready for the race. I know that I've put everything in. I'm done everything that I need to do. And I'm going to come out here and compete. And just strength training in general, it's just fun to be in there with the boys, with the music playing, just lifting, getting out of the running atmosphere of things and just doing another thing, whether that's strength training or pickleball or anything. That's just fun.
I love it. How many miles a week are you putting in, like at a peak training load?
So this summer in 2 weeks, I'm hitting 68. This week, I'm hitting 70 in 2 weeks.
Nice. Yeah. What's that? Do you do that during school as well? Hit those miles?
Yeah. So last year during indoor track, I was averaging 60, which was all right. I could get that in after school. I didn't need to double. This year I'm going to be hitting 65, but I've strategically set up my schedule this year, senior year, that I have the first morning blocks off every day. So I can double and sleep in until 8.
Sleep until 8. Yeah, I love it.
I know. Going to school at 10 is just enjoying it.
Have you been into a block yet where you've had to manage schoolwork? And because a big part of this whole journey that you're on right now is to land a D1 scholarship, right? Now, for you as a student, to land a D1 scholarship is not just your running performance, right? It's your academic performance as well. How do you balance all of these together?
Yeah, so academically, I'm pretty strong academically. I wouldn't say I'm the best student, but I'm a good student overall. Saying that, I get good grades and stuff, but sometimes in class I'm just sitting there, not wanting to do anything. I procrastinate, but I get it done at the last minute.
You're over here like, if I get a C on this, I just got to run 20 seconds faster on this next run, right? Just to make up for the academic
100%. I'm thinking about the 10 miles in class when we're taking the tests. And so, but overall, it's a pretty easy, it's good to balance, I would say. It's not that hard. I usually go to school at 8. This was my schedule last year. Go to school at 8, and then I'd have a study hall last block. So I would do all my homework in there. I would just put on my headphones, not talk to my friends for the first hour and do that, then run, and then I would just be chilling for the rest. Yeah. So I didn't have that much homework.
Do you treat it like a job, right? Like, okay, this is my high school job. I come in and I do my hours. Is that how you kind of parcel it out?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's just, let me come into school, let me clock in at 8, let me clock out at 3. Just stay dialed in for those moments there.
Yeah. What would you say separates like good high school runners from great ones?
I think a lot of great high school athletes have good work ethic, but a lot of runners have good work ethic overall. I know guys that are putting in 50-mile weeks and still not running the times they want to run, not really that competitive times. We're still working really hard. I think a lot of it for running is the mindset when it comes into it. You could be putting in 50, 60-mile weeks, but if you're getting on the line and you're scared, you don't think you're prepared, it's not going to pay off for you.
Yeah. So you feel like you should always have some sort of confidence going into each race. How do you approach each start line? What do you feel? Do you feel ready to go? Do you hype yourself up? What is that conversation like for you?
So I definitely do hype myself up before every race. I have the headphones on. If you see me before the race, I always have my headphones on. I get really nervous before races though, but it's not, I'm so nervous, I didn't prepare. I always feel really prepared. There's always going to be nervousness, but if you're not nervous, then you shouldn't be there in the first place. You're not taking it that serious.
Yeah. An exciting feeling like, there's always a buzz before you start competing. And I think at any age, even if you're not competing, but you're just going to go run a distance, like specifically for my situation, right? Doing ultras, I get the nerves because you don't know what's going to happen that day. Your body is always, you could feel so good and then come race day, it just doesn't put out what it needs to put out. And especially over like long ultra distances, you're just, nerves kind of hit. You're like, please let my stomach be good. Please let my legs be good. Please let everything just do what it needs to do and perform at the best that it can. Do you have kind of like a day before routine and a day of? Like, do you eat a certain meal? Do you do anything like that?
Day before, I like to not think about the race. So I'd eat salmon at night and I do all this nonsense. But now it's kind of, only thing I do is probably just stay off social media, because I'll get on there, I'll doom scroll till 1 o'clock at night. Like I don't need to be doing that. But I would say the day of is when I really lock in. I get up, always put the jersey on right away. It just helps me out, because I get really stressed out. I got to run to the bathroom, throw my jersey on, throw the shorts on. And I always eat a Fig Newton bar, a turkey sandwich, and a banana before every race, 3 hours out. And that's basically it.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So it sounds like you kind of understand the importance of rest. Who taught you that? Like, how did you approach that? What is your approach to actually resting and sleeping well?
Yeah, so I try to get 9 hours of sleep every night. Some nights there's going to be those nights where you get 5, and it's just, okay, it's fine. I had a sleepover with my friends. Let me get the rest of the night sleep good for coming up.
It's fine. I'm 17 years old. I really don't need any sleep.
Yeah, definitely. No, I used to think that. So freshman year, I was just one of those kids that's, all right, let me sleep 4 hours a night, go to school, play video games, play baseball, barely run. Now it's more, I just did more research on running is really how I got that I need to sleep. So now it's, okay, lights out at 10. Let's try to wake up at 7:30 to go on the run with the boys at 8 or 7. It's just really just getting in bed at 10 for me. And I take magnesium glycinate, which helps for me. So
yeah, really I started doing that too. It just helps me like really settle down. And I like the benefits of it carrying over in my muscles for the run the next day as well. It just like keeps me relaxed. I've noticed not more magnesium, but the more I keep up on my magnesium intake, less cramping long term, right? Especially when you're pushing it. You guys push it at crazy speed, so I'm nowhere near that. Yeah, man, that's so cool. I think that's also what has attracted me to running even more so is the tinkering, right? It's like you're tinkering with your own mechanics and body. Like, how do I maximize performance? Okay, the sleep. Oh, I need to worry about this training cycle, or maybe this workout will help me in this area that I'm a little bit weaker. Do you guys gut train as well? Or like, how much are you consuming? Because obviously, like, I've never ran competitively on cross country or any track distance. So when I train with ultras in mind. So I had to get the gut right, because you need to eat. If you're running 10, 12, 24 hours, you're going to have to eat. So it was an approach for me. What was that like for you as far as a cross country? Do you guys consume fuel while you're on the run, or you just go all out for the 3 miles and then eat after?
Yeah, so it's usually just an eat after for me. I'm just going all out, and then I'm probably, if it's a good race, I'm probably eating the worst thing ever after. Probably Popeyes or Reese Cups, something like that. Yeah. If it's a bad race, I'm locking in, getting salad, eating steak at home. But other than that, it's just, if a normal day, it'd be, let me get 3 good meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then other than that, I can snack on what I want throughout the day, as long as it's not too bad. Chocolate all the time. Yeah. I can have a bag of chips. It's fine, as long as I'm getting the 3 main meals in. Yeah. But on long runs, I cannot take down a gel to save my life. So I'm thugging it out for the 14 miles that I'm doing.
Man, what's the longest run you've done today?
I've done 15 when I was going into my junior year. So summer training going into cross country junior year.
Yeah. Do you have people your age who are already doing marathon distance?
There's this one kid from where I'm from. His name's Nate Whiting, and he did the Boston Marathon. He was training for it. He did cross country. He did track and stuff but he was always training for the Boston Marathon because that was his main thing he wanted to do. And I think he ran 2 hours and 30 minutes there. So yeah, he was moving there. He was really committed to it.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about it? Or it's funny because I also join like a track workout down in Laguna Beach, occasionally, they're Laguna Sprint Society. And it's funny because you would see them as older, right? But I see them as young kids. They're 25, 26, in their early 20s to like not even 30 yet, majority of those people. There's a few of us out there who are 40. But I always like talk to some of these kids that I see out there and I'm like, dude, why don't you go run ultras? You would just, you'd probably crush it out there. And like, yeah, maybe when I retire from running fast. I'm like, all right, never mind. Have you ever thought about doing anything above, or maybe even attempting something like that? Or is it not intriguing to you yet because it's not fast enough?
Right now, I would say it's not really that intriguing to me because I like the fast races. I like kicking hard, all that. But I could definitely see when I get out of college and I'm married.
I'm an old man at 22.
Yeah, definitely. I could see me marathon training because after that, there's not many races that I can do there. The mile, honestly, it's longer races.
Is there like, do you see like a window for your age to be competitive, and what is that age out? But and I ask this because I'll ask you that window. Like, is there a window of time, like age, that you see is your best opportunity to accomplish what you want to accomplish, and then after that, like you say, go to a bigger distance?
No, honestly, I would say I don't really see an age that's okay. This is my prime. This is when I'm going to run the fastest. Then I'm going to go. I would say it's more when you're in the moment. You're training for this. You could be 30 training for the mile and run 3:59. You could be 19 training for the mile and run 3:59. I think it's really just what you're focused on. But I think after college, after the competitiveness comes out, I could definitely see me running a marathon for sure.
Yeah. Once we lower the testosterone levels a little bit, right?
Yeah. My frontal lobe develops. I definitely could see it more then.
Yeah, exactly. And then until you go on your own test cycle and you're like, I'm not getting tested for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. Okay. So what is it that being an athlete looking for a D1 scholarship, what scares you the most out of that whole journey?
I would definitely say just like the thought of a roommate. I feel out of everything is rooming with someone. I'm not scared about the mileage I'm going to have to put in. I'm not scared about being away from home. I would say it's just being with a roommate, because I'm probably easily one of the easiest influenced guys to be with. If I'm with my friends, it's okay. Yeah, let's just. A couple of days ago, me and my friends were out and we were racing past a speed sign to see how fast we could get. And so I think it's just, I need to have a locked in roommate for me to really be dialed in. And I think that's pretty easy to get when you get one of your teammates.
Yeah.
But I know some friends that are in college now that one of my friends goes to Princeton and he got someone that is not a runner.
Just a straight bum.
Yeah, just a nerd. So it's kind of hard to be locked in. He said he was going to bed at 3 a.m. and stuff, his roommate, and I'm just, they're scaring me with that. So that's probably my biggest worry.
What I love about that answer, Peyton, is not that, maybe I don't get to the right school or like I don't do anything like that. It was just, I'm already going to get there, man. It's just the roommate person that really worries me the most. I love that. What, is there a specific dream school or a list of dream schools that you have that you are really hoping that you can achieve this D1 scholarship from?
I wouldn't say there's a specific dream school for me. I know I want to stay on the East Coast. No hate to out West, but it's just kind of, that's really far away from home. And I kind of want to stay on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I said I didn't have a problem with being far away from home, but I've never gone
out loud. You're like, oh, well.
Yeah. Going out West would be kind of scary. It's just totally different than the East Coast. I want to be familiar with my surroundings and stuff like that. But I just going D1 would be nice. The best school that offers me is probably where I'm going to go, because I want to be, I would rather be on the best team than be on the worst team and be the best runner, because I'm just going to develop more and I'm going to be faster than I was.
If you had to come to the West Coast, what school would you pick? Yes.
Definitely not BYU. I would probably go Colorado.
Hey, that's good. I was just going to say, so coming out here to the West Coast, that would be like where I'd want to train. I mean, you have altitude, you have all that. It seems, I mean, all of CU, those are Olympic athletes that are coming out of there. So you're all out there competing. I think that would be like where I would choose if I was going to be a runner as well.
100%.
Yeah, such a great team out there. Okay, on the East Coast, where would you like to go?
I have to stick with home, University of Virginia. That's one of the best schools on the East Coast.
Such a good.
I have a buddy that's going there, and it's just, I love the campus. It's probably because I've seen it the most out of every other campus on the East Coast, but it's just a nice school.
Yeah, no, for sure. And where is that one located again?
Charlottesville, so about 2 hours from Harrisonburg.
And Virginia Tech is Northern Virginia, right?
I think it's a little southern Blacksburg area.
That's right. I remember driving past Virginia Tech and looking at some of those, like, because it's a mining area too, right? So I look at some of like the rock formations out there, and it was like a whole nother world for me. So when you talk about like going to a whole new place across the country, that was my experience. I was 17 when I joined the military. And I got stationed out in Virginia, and coming from the West Coast out over there, it was a lot, man. And I will say, I am grateful for the experience. Again, I had the same roommate situation. I was living on a ship with 300 other men, so we didn't have a choice, and it was a nightmare. So at least college, you get at least your own little experience. But I will say that it was very cool to be able to experience something that was out of my comfort zone, and I made the best of it, because I put a dream sheet is what we were given, and I wanted San Diego, West Coast, or something out here, right? And they're like, no, you're going to Virginia on another ship over here. So it was like complete opposite, and that's why they call it a dream sheet. But I'm so happy that I didn't get something that was comfortable to me, I guess I should say, that's well known, because I had the best experience. I had friends who were from all the East Coast, and I got to experience from Florida all the way to Maine, and just go to people's houses along the way and really experience the East Coast. So if you do only get, hopefully your offer letters in your mailbox are stacked with a school of your choice, but let's just say you do get someplace out here, don't close it off completely. There's an experience there waiting, and I hope that you take any opportunity that's given. Is there a specific major that you're thinking about?
Kind of all over the place for that as well. I kind of business, pharmacy. I know I want to go to school. This is my main mindset. I know I want to go to school for something that's not broad. So if I was going to do something business, it would be something a little more niche, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So that's why pharmacy, it's 6 years, and I know I'm going to be making good money when I get out of college.
That is true.
Pharmacy, genuinely, I kind of am interested about it because it ties to running as well.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I went back to school a lot later. Again, like I said, my whole life really seemed to. I went back to school in my 30s. I was doing the film industry thing, but I went back to school in my 30s, and I went back for business, and it was like, okay, now I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to like appreciate everything that I had out there. And it was really cool to just have a passion for learning again. And it's just something that I really didn't see when I was younger. So whatever you end up doing, I think a general education, it's all good. So what do your parents say about your dreams and your aspirations for scholarship and to have running take you there?
Yeah, they definitely support it because, I mean, just going to college, it just sets you up for the future. So they can't hate that. Going to college for free, basically. You can't really be mad about that. So they definitely support it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your parents, do they have a wish for you to go to a certain area?
They definitely want me to stay decently close to home.
Yeah.
I would probably say around the North Carolina area. Probably it's a trip home on a weekend, I think, is probably what they would wish.
Far enough to where you're like, I'm on my own.
Yeah. Change of scenery at least.
Yeah. If you don't require your parents to have a $2,000 round trip visit to go see you at school, you might help them out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I tell them I'm going to Hawaii, they might be mad. That's a plane flight away.
Yeah, right. Or, I mean, man, there's even just the West Coast alone, it'll just be crazy. But Hawaii would be really hilarious for you to do, man. So I want to kind of go back to like racing. What was it like for you to win regionals? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so I won it my sophomore year in the mile, and that was just one of my biggest accomplishments individual to date because I was ranked 5th going into that race. There was a 424 guy that's a year older than me, and I was just, okay, I'm a 435 guy coming in here. I just have to go out there and be a dog.
Did you think you had a chance? You saw his numbers. Were you like, okay, did you have any inkling that I could take him down?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely wasn't, oh, this guy's going to beat me. He walked over, I definitely 100% wanted to be him really bad, and I had it in my mind. But this is kind of a funny story. When he walked over to the line, or something, and he had 2 rolls of toilet paper blowing his nose, and I was, okay, I'm winning today. There's no, I'm not winning. And so I was a little too confident. I took it 800 out and outkicked him to beat him by 5 milliseconds or something. So that was one of my closest races. And then funny enough, this year for outdoor and regionals, I outkicked him by a second to win the 32 as well.
Oh my gosh. Did he have toilet paper in his nose when he was kicking out that second one?
No, he didn't. He seemed pretty healthy then because we closed
that probably
at
helped
60.
you out, right? Like he felt a little bit better. You're like, okay, he was sick that first time. Let's see, what is this going to look like? And probably validated the feelings like that. Mm-hmm. What did that do for you as far as your confidence and like what work you were putting in? Yeah, what did that do?
Yeah, that definitely just motivated me because that just showed me, honestly, you can beat anyone if you think you can.
Yeah.
It really showed that the mileage paid off because I was training with all my elder teammates, long runs with them. And then that was my first real kind of big win for me because I won before the small meets and stuff, but I was, wow, this feels nice.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I would agree. I still haven't won a race yet, but I also didn't start till later. And I recently just pushed out as hard as I could on 50K, but it was some 26-year-old kids out there just setting the pace. I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is going to be brutal. But even though I didn't hit my goal of having a podium finish, it was pretty cool to like keep up with them for about 28 miles. And then I still wasn't even tired. It was just my muscles gave out. I mean, they started cramping up on the climb and that was it. That was my day. And I still PR'd, but yeah, you guys come out fast and you guys can do it. It did make me feel a little bit better knowing that, the guy who won that went on to Western States and had a really great breakout performance at Western States. So I was like, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool to be able to keep up, especially at my age. How has your family like influenced your running life? Do you come from a family of runners, or are you the first to set out within your family?
Kind of the first to set out. My cousin was into cross country and stuff, but it was nothing serious. She got me into the sport a little bit. It was just, I went to her meets when I was younger. I seen it, but all my other parents, no one was a runner whatsoever.
They have they see their when I see my son at baseball, I can pull through like experience. Hey, this is what this is going to look like. This is my baseball knowledge. This is what we're doing here. But yeah, I'm sure they're pulling for some sort of advice. Is like, well, you're on your own here, right?
Yeah, they definitely helped out the mindset sort of things because my dad played football, so it was kind of, oh, okay. He gave me that mindset.
I ran competitiveness.
Yeah. That's kind of how I was when I was playing other sports. It was okay, cross country running's a punishment, but I'm just going to stay in shape.
Yeah. Do they go, why? Do they ever ask why? Why do you do this to yourself? Because running is not attractive to, I would say 97% of the world. Running is not attractive.
100%.
Is there something that drives you? Like now this show here that I do, I started running because of traumas that I've had in the past, right? It's really helped me calm the mind. I spoke of my military background. I have PTSD from my deployments. It really, in this sport, I see a lot of people who pick it up because of trauma and things that they've been through. And you don't have to talk about it if you've had trauma in your life right now, but is there anything, we always are on this search for the person who's had such a great upbringing and just enjoys it on their own. So do you find some sense of calm that running gives you?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't had any trauma sort of things. It was just really, I wanted to be the best at something. I wanted to be known for something because baseball, I was all right at it, but it wasn't, I'm going to be the best at this. I'm going to be a state champion. I'm going to do all this. But then when running came around, it was, okay, I want people to be able to see me as a winner and stuff like that. Yeah. And that just really motivated me and stuff. But it's definitely calming on the runs. And I could see how that helps for a lot of people that have past trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel like, I mean, when I ask that question, you're you're in probably the most traumatic time of your life, if I'm being honest, right? Whether there's a bad experience or anything, you're at a stage in your life where you're starting to become a young man. You're leaving like the childhood behind. So there's stress, there's trauma, there's unknown, like all of these things you're in it right now. And if you ask most people my age or older, like, did they like high school? High school is the worst, man. It was the worst, right? And it could be good for you, but like when you look back on it, you might compare it to your college experience, life experience. Like, oh yeah, that actually wasn't that fun. Do you find that like you have found a little bit more calmness, serenity, peace aside from your counterparts who aren't running?
Yeah, definitely. High school isn't so bad right now. It's just, I have a lot of friends, I would say. It's just like the work sometimes. I just procrastinate so much that it kind of stresses me out there. But I get it done. So, but hanging out with my friends and stuff, me and the boys are always hanging out, whether it's my running friends. I kind of try to stay a little bit away from my running friends every now and then. I'm always hanging out with them, but I have other friends that play football, and one of my best friends plays baseball. And I think it's nice just to be able to connect with them and hang out with them a little bit. It's just
running.
Yeah, outside of running just really helps me stay not burnt out, because always hanging out with my running friends, always running. We always talk about running. That's basically all we're doing. But when I'm hanging out with them, they're talking about football. We're playing spike ball. We're playing pickleball. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's so cool. And I think we talked a little bit about it, what excites you the most about running in college. But what do you think the biggest thing that college is going to teach you about running and life?
Definitely just to keep pushing, keep giving it your all, keep telling yourself you're the best at something. Because I think I've been talking to coaches and how could you see me contributing to your team when I get on the roster? And they're always, oh yeah, we could see you could be on the team, you could be racing, you could be with the guys, but I want to be the best guy on the team. I want to be the one working the hardest. So it's definitely in life, when I get a job and stuff, that it's definitely going to keep me wanting to get the highest role of that job, make the most money.
Yeah. And when you get to the college level, right, it opens up a whole new pool of talent, right? I think we see it in every sport. The kids who excelled and were just so good at baseball or football or soccer, whatever it may be, once they get to that next level, it's like a whole nother test, right? You're getting some of the best athletes from across the country who are coming in and you're competing against them. So it's like new excitement, right? A little new nerves. You might have, okay, now I'm competing against all of these colleges in the nation, and now they have their best talent, right? That they're bringing in. So you finally get a chance to like compare yourself to a wider pool of talent. And I think that's got to be exciting, and to be able to be in that position to push yourself and test and see what you got compared to the rest of the country. If there's any scouts or anybody listening out there, is there a way that you could pitch yourself as why you would be a good candidate to be considered for a scholarship for their school?
Well, what I would say is that I'm going to be the best runner in the state of Virginia this year, and I'm going to be contributing factor for their team and trying to win an NCAA national championship for the team and for myself.
I love it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. And what about you personally? Like, what do you bring as an athlete, as a teammate to those around you?
Yeah, I definitely feel like unify the team, whether that's we're hanging out outside of the runs or we're just running together. I'm the leader of the cross country team. I was last year. I am this year. And I'm really good at getting the guys to come together to run. We're going to the coffee shop after just to get some breakfast or anything that I really like setting up things that, and you look forward to that.
Yeah. Do you enjoy being the leader, like in your life, right? You like to kind of carry those and lift those people up, lift those around you up. When you started to just feel that way, do you feel like you are this person to take care of those around you?
Yeah, definitely. I tried being that guy freshman year, and that kind of got shut down pretty quick.
Yeah, you can't be the young buck in here. You got to earn your keep, right?
No, I was even my own teammates. I was like, I'm better than you guys. I'm going to be the leader of this team and all this nonsense I was saying. But definitely, a big switch was going into my junior year cross country season, because that's when all the seniors and upperclassmen that were 2 years older than me left, and now I'm the upperclassman.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely a big pivot in my running career, besides being the underclassman now to go on to be the leader, but helped me and pushed me more, because the freshmen are looking at you now. The eighth graders looking at you.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what's your favorite race to do?
Probably the mile. Yeah, I like the mile a lot.
Yeah. Do you ever watch like old clips of like Steve Prefontaine, and because he was the mile guy.
He's on the wall right back there.
Yeah, I thought I saw it. Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah. What do you love about Steve Prefontaine?
I just think he was a dog, man. He was confident. He was going out there no matter what. What that says is to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift or something. Yeah. That he went out there and he was, well, I'm not going to sit and kick on these guys. I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to hammer it on them. I really like that mindset. Yeah.
Do you ever would that ever put Oregon University on your list to maybe get a letter? I know it's out far west, but
yeah, I do not think I could run there. Those guys are quick. I will say that, but if I could, I'd probably run there, because you can't beat Hayward Field.
It's amazing, man. I did an episode over there. We have a sponsor, and it's for like a running sensor, and that's Alethea Run. And I got to go out there and I ran Pre's Trail. I saw Hayward Field, like all of that stuff, dude. Even as like a non-competitive runner, just somebody who appreciates like the lifestyle of the run, bro, there's an aura there that's unmatched. And I went out just running the trails out there. I think it's such a cool spot if you are somebody who is a runner, but it just made me go down the rabbit hole of Steve Prefontaine and a little bit more. And it's just, God, I wonder what his life would have been like in today's day, right? I mean, he was like the first badass.
100%.
Yeah, I love it. And the first badass who didn't even look like a runner, right? Just out there, looked like he's straight out of Bud Light commercial, ready to go. What's your favorite shoe?
The Nike Vomero 17. I'm a Nike guy. I hate to say it, because that's just like the big company. I wish I liked them.
You're a Steve Prefontaine fan, all right? It's okay.
Yeah, 100%. I just like that shoe though, because it's light. They have the other one, the Vomero 18. That one's just heavy, because I just got a light shoe that's just can wear it on any run. Yeah,
I love it. Favorite post-race meal when you win?
When I win, man. Hopefully my coach doesn't hear this one, but definitely coming home, probably getting a milkshake. I don't know what cookout is. That might be an East Coast thing.
Might be.
Yeah.
What
so cookout,
it?
it's just basically like the greasiest food on America.
I love it.
There's milkshakes are so thick, so you kind of got to wait 5 hours for them to melt. And then, so definitely a cookout milkshake, coming home, eating a lot of chocolate, just a lot of chocolate. And then waking up the next morning and locking back in. But 48-hour rule. You can celebrate for 48 hours. And then
I love it. Yeah. See, this is where we differ, right? I am so bad. Like, I eat like crap, dude. But I run so long that we're out there and we're like, Skittles, candy, give me a burger, give me a burrito, give me like fries, pizza, all of this stuff. So would you say like you're pretty strict on your diet during this training time?
Kind of, but kind of not at the same time. I don't like to stress on stuff that, whether it's sleep, whether it's nutrition, because then that just adds more stress in your life, which you don't need. But I would say, as long as it's decently healthy, whether that's a burger, whether that's mac and cheese, whatever it is, whatever my mom's making, I'm eating.
Heck yeah.
I just make sure I get enough of it in, because 2 years ago I had an iron deficiency and it was just a little bit. So now it's just really focusing on eating and just taking the supplements, but the supplements don't work if you're not eating enough or eating right, which I definitely do eat right in the right amount of food. It's just sometimes I'm snacking on the worst stuff ever.
Oh man. What would be your dream race like to go run and compete at?
Right now, I would probably say that the Olympics. I think you can't. Any distance race in the Olympics, I would love to be in. I don't care what the race is. That's just then I could get the tattoo and everything.
Dude, for sure. Yeah. Well, I think you're aware of the sacrifice it takes. I have a good friend. I call him a good friend now because he's local and I met him through this podcast. And when I first interviewed him, he's like, OTQ is what's the goal. I want to qualify. And I think it was about 2 years later, he finally qualified. And I think it's just like to be able to even be in the conversation to be selected is huge. And I watch the miles that this man puts on, and it's for the marathon distance, which is like another beast on its own to like qualify in there, right? I mean, these guys are sprinting. They're 5:50s, 6-minute miles for the even, I would say even less than that, like 5:15 is going, which is crazy. Could you imagine like going a minute slower than what you're doing right now for 26.2 miles?
No, that's pretty hard to imagine, right? I can't even imagine that easy long run. I'm going to go run 26 miles on the day. I'd be,
man. Do you think that adding in your training load right now, like adding more mileage would be beneficial, or is it the quality miles like a speed that are really beneficial for you now?
Yeah, I really think going over 70 right now just wouldn't be beneficial. I'm not a guy, knock on wood, that doesn't get injured. Mm-hmm. So I think the main reason of that is because I wore like the same shoes my whole freshman year and I had 2,000 miles on them or something ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And so, yeah, now, and they were trails and I was running on the road. So there, yeah. But other than that, I think just staying at 70 and getting quality miles in, where like an easy run, you're not pushing the pace, being that guy. You're just keeping it relaxed and everything, getting the doubles in. Like that's what I'm doing today. I did 8 this morning, 7:30, and then around 5 or 6 this evening, I'm going to do 5.
Yeah.
So just getting quality miles in.
Yeah. I had like a pretty cool experience recently, and I'm not a fast runner by any means, and I've never been a fast runner. But I always had like the dream of doing a 5-minute mile at least, especially given my age. I'll be a little bit more reasonable. I'm not going to go out there and run a 4:20, a 4:15, probably ever. But 5-minute mile was like something I thought about. I'm like, well, that's kind of like, maybe I could do that. And I had just come off finishing a 100-mile race, and I went and ran with that sprints, the little sprint club with the younger guys. And the guy I was just talking about who qualified for the Olympics or did OTQs, he paced me for a mile PR. And I was like trying to be conservative. I'm like, well, let me just go like 6-minute mile, maybe something like that. And he went out there and paced me on it, and we're running, and he looked back and he goes, oh no, man, we're going sub 6 on this. And I was like, no way. Okay. And it was something in there like that I knew it was shorter, right? That I was like, oh, I can hold this pace and just push, because I just did 32 hours of running and pushing. Something in my mind was like, what's 5 minutes? Just hold on and just keep moving for 5 minutes. And I feel like being able to have the confidence to pull from a distance run helped me in my shorter distance, obviously different muscle groups. But do you feel like maybe your shorter distance will help you in the longer runs? Or do you think you could ever consider doing a PR distance and that will pull to confidence levels of shorter distance?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that because I feel the same way with on Saturdays. I do my long runs. If it's Monday and I got a 9-mile run, it's like, okay, I just did 13 on Saturday. So yeah. I could definitely see me doing some long, if I run the 2-mile at a race, yeah, and then the next meet I'm running the mile, like, okay, this is only 4 minutes and whatever seconds of suffering, rather than 9 minutes and
yeah,
all
exactly.
the rest. So it's just, I definitely pull from the longer distance when I go into shorter distance. Yeah. Maybe that's why I succeed a little bit more in the shorter distance. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I agree. Yeah. And I feel like it's so, the 2 miles is ridiculous though, man. No, I'm not doing that, because I'm like, I just want to be on the 4 laps and done. 2 miles, it's like, that's a whole nother like mental strength that you have to pull from on there, and really like be patient, but push and dig deep and just churn. It's so hard. Like, how do you disconnect when your legs are dead and there's so much lactic acid building up? Like, how do you disconnect from that feeling and just keep pushing? What do you tell yourself?
It's usually just I want to be the best guy out here, but it's always I always think someone has it worse than me. Someone's waking up every morning at 5 a.m. while in some other country. So it's kind of just this amount of suffering that I'm racing, and I get to do this for fun is not that bad compared to how other people live their everyday life.
Yeah.
And a moment of suffering is better than you get a lot from it. Like, you learn a lot from the suffering.
Yeah. It seems like at your age, you have a good sense of gratitude. What are you grateful for in your life?
And honestly, just that I'm able to wake up every day and do the sport that I love and be able to go to school. Even though I told you, I'm procrastinating all this, I like school. I like school overall. It's just nice to wake up and next day you're hanging out with the guys on a 14-mile run. Like, you got the plans made. You guys are going to hang out after that. Just every day waking up, you got to be grateful for that. Yeah, definitely. Gratefulness and gratitude is such a big thing. I don't want to take more of your time, so I want to start wrapping this up, but I do have a final question, kind of like leave us with a good thought here. But like, I want you to kind of imagine that there's somebody who's in middle school right now, maybe listening to this podcast, because I have so many middle schoolers listening to my show, or even like people like us, like that are older, probably like later and not as competitive in their running career, but anything else, really just running. I want you to give them some advice and final thought to leave with. Yeah, just like I said, wake up every day excited to go run. There's days you wake up and you probably are not going to want to run. Everybody has a day like that, but you have to flip the switch when you wake up, and you just have to tell yourself, I woke up another day. Let me just go on this run and let me just enjoy everything, whether that's the scenery, whether that's making new memories with your boys, anything like that. Just waking up and enjoying every moment.
I love it, Peyton. Well, you won something today. You were officially the youngest guest I've had on this show, but you had a lot of great insight, mature responses. And I want to say that I wish you the best of luck on your journey to get this scholarship. I hope that in the future we can come back and listen to this episode and see how much growth you've had in between then and now and then. And I really hope that these dreams come true, that your work that you put in pays off. Direct these scouts to this interview so they can get a little bit to know more about you. I think any team will probably be lucky to have you. And I wish you the best of luck, man. I really can't wait to see what your future holds. Hopefully we're out there and we're remembering this moment, and to see all that you've accomplished. Knock on wood, maybe you're out there competing for the Olympics, especially as you get older. We only get faster and better. It's something about that dad strength, really. So many like people hitting their prime later and later in life. So I think it's so cool to be able to see that, right? You're going to find maturity. And that's the beauty about this sport, is it requires you to find patience. I ask that you find patience and you keep grinding out and still have the love for the sport of what you're doing. But I appreciate you, man. You're such a cool kid. I wish you the best of luck, man. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, that's another episode of the Ostrich Running Podcast. A little different today. I think it was important to have somebody on here who's young in their running journey, who's just starting out, who has dreams to push themselves further academically, professionally in their running career. I think we always want to look back and we ask ourselves what we could have done when we were younger. That's why I love today's guest, and I really hope that you enjoyed the show today. Again, week after week, the messages that you send me of the show, sharing the show, it's truly a blessing. I am so grateful for all of you listeners out there. Please make sure that you rate and subscribe if this is your first time listening to this show, but I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. Cue that outro music.
Says you need to fly to reach the top. Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy it a lot. I'm an odd kid, like an ostrich. I got a pod, kids, here's a topic. Blaze your own trail, don't be cautious. 2 birds, 1 stone's how I rock it. Can't make an omelet without breaking a shell. But they say grew up, now I'm raising hell. Haters gonna hate, yeah, they pray and you fail. So put in the work, whether pavement or trail. The grades fell down, but they got to the feet. Run your own race, put this pod on repeat. Shake your tail feather, keep nodding your beaks. Ostrich gang, or you're not my peeps. Who says you need to fly to reach reach the top.